Okay, so we're just gonna scrap that whole reading because it's just a fucking mess. And I said it at the beginning of that video about how you might be feeling a lot of frustration right now, okay? Because that's like, there's something in the energy, okay? It's like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's some bullshit, okay? And it's like, you're just fed up with the bullshit that keeps getting sent towards you, okay? And we've already lit our evil eye candle here, okay? And we've asked that our angels, ancestors, ascended masters, and spirit guides, and all things supernatural that are on our side, return to sender all evil eye, all negative energies and entities sent towards us, and all those who are in our vicinity with negative intentions towards us. And we're going to clear and cleanse the energy by lighting our sage in Palo Santo. Okay, and we're going to breathe in the good and breathe out the bad. Breathe in the good and breathe out the bad. We are staying grounded, okay? We are not letting this negative shit get to us, okay? There is a lot going on here. There are probably a lot of people in their feelings and directing negative energy towards you because they view you as the problem and the source of all the things wrong in their lives, because they don't want to look at themselves and heal. Okay, they just want to blame you and other people rather than themselves and the choices that they have made their entire lives or refused to make and allowed others to make for them. I have some new decks that I wanted to try out. And I think that's part of where some of my frustration is or was coming from in that reading, because it's a whole new deck, okay? And it's like trying to navigate a whole new energy, and it's like we're in this whole new world, and so it can be disorienting and frustrating, right? Because we're used to doing things a certain way, right? We're used to a certain energy, but now everything's changed. And that's also the feeling like that I feel that others are getting, and they're angry with you because they think you're the reason that everything has changed for them. You're the reason that things are not the way they want them to be. And they're not used to that. They're not used to not getting their way. Okay? I'm going to turn this on. Is that better? Whatever. Okay. So, anyways, there's a lot of... There's a lot. There's just a lot. It's just a lot. Okay, it's just a lot. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Disney Villains deck, okay? And so I do feel at this time that this is the right deck to pull out, because it's like everybody wants to demonize you. They want to vilify you. They want you to be the bad guy in their story, right? Because they don't want to take accountability for their own decisions and actions, okay? So you're the villain in their story, and let's explore that, shall we? Okay, Spirit, can we get a message for the collective? What do we need to know at this moment in time? Okay. So this will be our Disney Villains unboxing read. This is the first time, okay, that I have pulled out this deck and used it. I have pre-shuffled it, okay. We have the Page of Coins and the Page of Cups on the split. What do we need to know? Okay, we have the Six of Cups and the Five of Cups. Okay. So this is Someone is feeling nostalgic, okay? Or they're feeling sad, remorse, loss, grief over the past. Okay. Right? And they blame you, us, we, why? 12, the Hanged Man. Come on now. Because they tried to sacrifice you and ended up sacrificing themselves, okay? But yet somehow they blame you for not sacrificing yourself, for not allowing them to sacrifice you, for fighting back, okay? For choosing to love yourself. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Ace of Swords, that's the truth. And Two of Swords, you've cut them out. Two of Cups of your relationship, okay? Or from your love. And Nine of Swords, this has got them, you know, all up in their head. You cut them off. You cut them off. You cut them out of your life. You cut them, you know, out of your love, okay? You took your love away from them, and they're angry at you. And because you chose to love yourself, because they didn't give back to you, okay? They didn't give back to you what you know, the good things that you gave to them. And now they're thinking about this. All right, what else do we need to know? What else do we need to know?
Last night, in the morning, we had these.
The High Priestess. The Magician. And the Fool. It's all major arcana. You are a very powerful spiritual being, okay? The Fool is actually the most powerful card in the whole deck. But it's like you don't know or didn't know your own power. They didn't either, right? Because you didn't know your power, so how could they? It's like, you know, God wanted them to see you a certain way to trap them, okay, in karma, because God knew that they were going to do this sacrifice to you, because they saw you as a fool. They saw you as someone that they could take advantage of, someone that they could sacrifice for their own personal gain. Not knowing that you had, you know, a knowing beyond all their possible, you know, reason and knowledge. And it's basically, you know, it's just the same old story that we've been getting. That they're upset with you. And they see you as the villain in their story because they tried to sacrifice you. And in doing so, they ended up sacrificing themselves. Because they didn't know who you were in the spirit. They didn't know who you were, period, you know, and they never even bothered to get to know you, which is ridiculous because it's like there's this Two of Cups, okay? There was this relationship, there was this closeness, there was this opportunity. There was this opportunity that they had to truly know and love you and have a good, loving relationship with you, but Nine of Swords, they're all fucked up in the head because they fucked it up. Because they fucked it up by trying to be manipulative, okay? and trying to sacrifice you for their own new beginning, when it was supposed to be, you were supposed to come together to have a new beginning together. You were supposed to be this person's new beginning, and vice versa. They were supposed to be yours. So it's like, how many times can you fuck it up? That's what I'm getting. You know, is that you both came together because, you know, of like shared pain, shared loss, right? Okay, maybe you had both broken up or come out of bad relationships. And so, like, you know, God led you to one another to give you the opportunity to heal together and to have that love that you wanted with the previous person, but didn't get, or were never going to get. A true love, okay? Right? But instead of, you know, instead of healing, they chose to remain in the Five of Cups, this state of like sadness and grief and loss. It's like a pity party, right? They wanted to remain in their own pity party. So they rejected, they blocked the love, the good loving relationship, so that they could continue to be in this state of like constant, like never ending pity party. And they use it to manipulate people. Okay. Right? They oh, poor me. This person did me wrong. And, you know, and it's like, okay, well, at what point do you finally take some responsibility and accountability? And at what point do others start seeing you for what you are and calling you out on it? A lying, cheating, manipulative piece of shit, right? Okay, and by cheating, I don't necessarily mean that, you know, somebody's going out there and finding somebody else, but cheating as in manipulating other people's emotions to get what you want rather than just being honest. I mean, that's cheating, okay? You're not doing things the right way. You're trying to find a shortcut, a workaround, because you don't want to put in the effort. And also because you act like a child, right? At what point are you going to grow up? And look, sacrificed. How many people have you sacrificed so that you can remain in this childish energy? So, because you don't want to grow up, Mr. Peter Pan? You don't want to grow up? You just want to be a kid forever? Live in Neverland and never grow up? Okay, sorry. What else do we need to know? I feel like we should move to a different deck now. All right, tell me about the Five of Cups. It's the Page of Cups reverse. Okay, so like we had the split, right? The Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. It's an immature person who doesn't want to grow up, doesn't want to get better. They'd rather just la 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 la, nothing's ever my fault. And you know, when they do something wrong, it's, oh, but I don't want to get in trouble. I didn't do anything. They did it. I didn't yell at them. I didn't scream at them. Look, I got it on recording. They yelled at me. You know, I didn't leave them. They kicked me out. Right? Even though what's missing from all of that is everything that led up to that moment, right? The ghosting, the arguing, all the negative energy that was brought into a home, right? Okay, anyway, it's this immature, right? It's this immature, not wanting to grow up, okay? Neglecting your own inner child, okay, by not allowing it to grow up too. You're stunting your own growth, stifling yourself, and also possibly others. Like, this could be an actual child, right? You, and also I'm getting the feeling of forcing children, okay, to grow up and take care of you when you're supposed to be the adult, right? Okay. So it's like, you're so fucking immature. You want to be taken care of, right? And so it's like, Oh, Jesus. Okay. Five of Cups. Let's move on to the Five of Cups, please. Why is the Five of Cups here? Yeah. Okay, so we have the Tower and the Seven of Swords reverse. Okay, so they're just sad and in regret because they finally got caught, right? They finally got caught and called out, because here's the other thing, right? This is a whole state of being that now this person has had to change and take accountability because you stepped in, right? And you may, you know, they may have been being enabled to be this way, right? To have this immature behavior, to never have to take accountability for anything ever. And you called them out on it, right? That's the Tower moment. The Tower moment is not just that you called them out on it, but you changed their whole fucking world. You got everyone else to see who they really are, to see through the mask, to see through the manipulation and the magic, right? And so finally, right, everybody is starting to see this person the way that you said they were all along, but nobody wanted to address, because, you know, it's like, oh, well, this is the way we've always done things, and it's just easier to let them be, you know, the way that they're going to be. And right, then to actually stand up and say, no, that's not okay. No, I'm not going to help you with that. No, I don't agree with that. And no, if you want to have a relationship with me, then you're going to have to like grow the fuck up, right? So yeah, this person sees you as the villain because it's like they're a child. They're a child that has ran into, you know, a full-grown adult that is forcing them to be the grown-up that they actually are, but don't want to be. And they got caught. They got caught doing things they shouldn't have been doing. Okay? Things in the past that they regret. And it's like, these are things from like the way past too. It's not just necessarily like a recent thing, although it could be. Maybe they've done it again. Okay? Maybe they've done it again. Maybe they got caught doing it again. And so now it's bringing up these emotions, these feelings from what they've been doing for a very long time. Maybe they're finally starting to see, you know, that this is not a sustainable way to be, way to live. Because in doing this, right, in order to live like this, in this Neverland, okay, you have to sacrifice other people, you know, by forcing them to grow up too soon, or to, you know, in some cases, to be immature with you. Okay, someone who may, you know, may want to be a grown-up, but is, you know, but is forced that, like, if they love you, if they want to be with you, then they have to sacrifice, you know, themselves, in that, like, they have to get into this immature energy with you and not grow up either. Right? Even though maybe they want to grow up, right? Yeah, Six of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Some people want to stop living like this and move on. Some people want to move on to the next stage and phase of life. They don't want to be stuck in Neverland. Right? Even Peter Pan eventually, right, grows up. Because you can only do it for so long, right? Yeah, the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. It's like the way that things have always been done. But the world, but that's over. That's over. You can't always, you know, do things the way that they've always been done. Sometimes it's just time to stop doing things the way you've always done them and realize that there is a better way. and that there's, you know, it's time to move on. It's time to grow up. It's time to leave Neverland, right? The land of illusion, okay? And step into the real world. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, maybe it's not quite as much fun as, you know, you thought it was going to be, but it's like everybody has to grow up at some point, right? Everybody has to grow up. Ace of Swords. Yeah, the Empress reverse. It's just like this not wanting to be a mother, okay? Not wanting, the Empress, okay, is, she's all the decks. She's all the queens in the deck, right? So she is everything. She has conquered every aspect, right, of herself, of loving, caring, giving, you know, being financially responsible, being able to bring in money, to be responsible with the money that you do have, you know, but also not just for yourself, but for, you know, for everyone, right? Because you're not just, you know, when you are an Empress, you're usually a mother figure, right? So it's not just you, it's everyone. You have to take care of everyone. And so you have to be responsible. You have to be caring, kind, understanding. You have to, you know, be nurturing, loving, and also be able to communicate, okay, with all different kinds of people, because not everybody is the same. And in order to be able to run things smoothly, you need to be able to speak everybody's language, right? Okay, and this is somebody who, Empress reverse, didn't want to be a mother, didn't want the responsibility, okay, couldn't handle shit, right? And so this could be someone that, like, by having a relationship with this person is holding you back from growing up yourself, from becoming the Hierophant that you need to be. Right? This person is holding you back. But this mentality is holding you back, right? This mentality of, you know, I don't want any responsibilities. I don't want, you know, I don't want to be responsible for anyone, including myself. Like, I'm the child, take care of me. At some point, you have to start learning that you have to take care of yourself. You have to be responsible for yourself. And you may have made certain decisions along the way that you actually need to be responsible for other people now, because you're supposed to be the grown-up. And you can't keep sacrificing your children and forcing them to raise themselves, to take care of themselves. That you have to be what they need you to be. You have to sacrifice your way of doing things the way you always have and step into a new world, the real world, okay? Two of Swords. Seven of Wands reverse. It's like being in a crossroads, okay? There's a decision that needs to be made here. And the decision that needs to be made is surrender, giving up, okay? Giving up your lifestyle, giving up your, again, your old ways of being and doing things, and just realizing, right, that, like, it's time to grow up. And I feel like That's why you were the villain, because I feel like this is the message that you tried to give this person a long, long time ago that they did not want to hear. And they sacrificed you because they didn't like what you had to say. And maybe you sacrificed them in return by leaving them behind, by moving on without them, right? Because you decided, right, that you did want to grow up and that you couldn't do that as long as you were tied to this person. So you had to cut the ties with the Two of Swords. You had to cut ties with this person because they were holding you back. The Fool. So we have the Page of Wands reverse, the Fool reverse, and the King of Pentacles. So it's like taking this chance, stepping out into the unknown, right? Making this decision to leave someone behind because they refused to grow up and you knew that it was time, that it had to be done, right? Because this person refused to grow up, refused to change, refused to grow and evolve, because they didn't want to stop doing things the way that they had always done them, right? That you had to go and take a leap of faith all on your own, right? And this may have been, right, because you were limiting yourself by being with this person. So you cut ties with them.
I stole all of the pencils just because I like the pencils.
Because of their immaturity, right? Okay, and throwing a fit. This person may have thrown a fit when you left, right? Oh, and they may have thought too, oh, they'll be back, right? The Fool reverse. Oh no, they'll be back. They'll be back. This person foolishly thought, oh yeah, no, they'll be back, right? But why would you go back to something that was so bad that you felt you had to leave in the first place, right? Or maybe they did things to try to prevent you from being able to take care of yourself, right? Maybe they thought you'd be back because they purposefully did things to make it harder for you, right? So you would come back. And they wanted you to think that this was a bad decision, that it was poor judgment, right? But ultimately, you're in the King of Pentacles now, right? It was the best decision you ever made. It ended up being the best decision you ever made because now you're the King of Pentacles. Okay? You are secure financially. You are responsible. You are, you have grown up into this, into this king. You have grown up successfully. You succeeded in what you set out to do. Okay? And that's also why they see you as a bad guy, because because they wanted you to fail and you succeeded anyways. All right? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you grow up and succeed without me? Nah. You were supposed to fall prey to my magic. The Magician. Why is... Oh, shit. God, I hate this. Oh, stupid thing. Okay. I'm going to have to come over here for a second. Ouch. Oy. Six of Pentacles. Yeah. Oh. They wanted you to give to them, right? And instead, you gave to yourself. This person possibly, okay, was very, very good at manipulating you out of your money. And that's another reason why they feel victimized by you. You're the bad guy because when you left, you took all your money with you. And they actually had to do it themselves, to take care of themselves, and possibly give you money as well. The Magician. The Magician. Yep. Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. Strength. And Two of Cups. This person, this person wanted you to be stuck forever in that relationship with them. They wanted you to be stuck good and stuck. And they thought that they had done enough magic on you to keep you around, to keep you giving, right? That you would keep giving to them everything you had, and they would give just a little bit back to you, and that was going to continue. That you would never see what they were doing. But with the High Priestess here, you absolutely did. You saw through everything. High Priestess. Four of Swords. It's like, I feel like you knew long before you let on that you knew. You knew, and you just kind of sat there with the knowledge, hoping that things would change. Maybe trying to help bring peace to the situation, to bring positive change, right? Trying to share what wisdom and knowledge you had, right? But they didn't want to hear it. They did not want to hear it. What else for High Priestess? Six of Cups. You may, the Devil on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. And, okay, the Four of Wands. Yeah, so you may have had to break up a home, okay, with children because of this Devil, because of toxicity, because of addiction, right? You stuck it out for as long as you could for the children, right? But eventually you realized that the children were the reason that you had to go, right? That you had to break up this marriage, this family, this home, for them, to bring peace to them, because they were innocent, and in order for them to remain that way, you had to do right by them, right? You had to break the cycle, okay? Because otherwise they were going to end up just like this toxic person this Peter Pan who didn't want to ever grow up. Right? And you had to do what was right. You had to do right by them. High Priestess. 10 of Wands. Even though it was hard. Maybe the hardest thing you ever had to do. And even though there were many challenges ahead, right? In order to do this, in order to reach this. But you knew it was going to, you knew there would be struggles, okay? You knew it was going to be difficult. You knew that, it was going to be financially hard, that there was going to be a lot of burdens placed on you, and you did it anyway, because you knew what the right thing to do was. You knew. Nine of Swords. The Star. You knew what you had to do in order to heal yourself and these children, okay? And you held on to hope and faith that things were going to work out, and tried to remain positive throughout the whole ordeal, even though maybe deep down, you were in the Nine of Swords. Maybe you were constantly in anxiety, fear, feeling mentally unwell, having to deal with, you know, PTSD and things like this. But the Fool is a journey, right? You set out on this journey knowing that it would be a difficult one and that you were doing it alone. But you did it anyways because you knew it was the right thing to do. You knew it was what needed to be done in order to heal not only yourself and these children, but ultimately this Two of Cups partner. Okay? You knew that the only way that this person was ever going to learn their lesson and grow the fuck up was if they lost you and their children and the stability that you brought to the table. The mental stability, the emotional stability, the financial stability, right? And that's part of the Tower. They lost it. They lost everything. They lost all of their stability when you left. And now they're, you know, it's like you went through a whole lot of shit, but you healed a whole lot of shit, right? They're still in the Nine of Swords. They haven't healed shit. Nine of Swords. Yeah, King of Cups. This person, they're coming out in the upright, but really it's just that they are all up in their emotions, okay? They are emotionally fucked up. Mentally and emotionally fucked up. And Nine of Swords reverse, Eight of Cups. When you walked away, that's when everything started to change for you in the right way, right? You became this King of Cups. You became more emotionally stable, more in control of yourself and your emotions, right? Like right now, like I said in the very beginning, it's like there's a lot going on here to process energetically. You have learned to do that, okay? You know how to breathe. You know how to alchemize. You know how to process. You know how to ground yourself. Nine of Swords. Right? Because you released the fear too. You may have been afraid to leave at some point. And you conquered that fear.
Hi, Mommy.
Ace of Cups. Hi, sweetie. Two of Cups.
I want you to
10 of
feel
Pentacles.
happy.
You are destined to have a true Two of Cups, a loving, giving relationship, but you also have that with spirit, with ancestors, okay? What else for Two of Cups? The Hanged
I
Man.
was near camping Christian, but have time to play gymnastics.
The Chariot. The Two of Swords. And the Five of Pentacles reverse. You were sacrificed, okay, in the past possibly, okay, by your own family. This whole relationship may have been a setup as well, I'm getting, at least spiritually. But you came out victoriously. You came out charging, right? You came out on top like a beast, okay? And you have recovered, okay? Also, you may be, with the Five of Pentacles reversed and the Ten of Pentacles here, you may be going from, you know, a state of lack and poverty and to rich, abundance, rewards like you've never known before. Recovering, you know, you have also recovered something deep for your ancestors, okay? You've healed a deep ancestral wound, broken a generational curse, okay? Two of Swords, cut out a generational curse, cut out a certain lineage, possibly. All right. Give me like one more card to close it out, would you please? Because I'm ready to go. Nine of Cups. This is luxury. This is wish fulfillment. This is you getting everything you want and hope and dream of and achieving everything you ever wanted. This is ask and ye shall receive, because you did what others could not, would not, were not strong enough to do. You did not let fear stop you. You took life's challenges and turned them into victories, okay? You deserve everything that is coming to you, and it's good shit. Lots and lots of good shit. Because you did the work. You were not lazy, you were not fearful, you knew what needed to be done and you did it. Even though it hurt, even though, you know, you may have had to overcome years of ancestral, you know, generational trauma, okay, to do this, of programming, all right?
Mama, look, I'm wearing your shoes.
You had to have faith and trust in God and Spirit to help you through it, and it's here now, right? It's here now. We're on the other side, and they may have seen you as the villain, but ultimately you're not a villain. You're just the villain in their story. In your story, you're the hero. So let's just get one more of these to close it out. Yep, there it is. Again, 8 of Coins, 9 of Coins. So again, 9 of Coins, 9 of Cups, 8 of Coins, 9 of Coins. So 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. You're going to get everything you want and need. It's karma. Okay? This is karma. This is you receiving the rewards, okay? For doing it all by yourself, for overcoming obstacles, for being strong, independent, sovereign, okay? I hope this has helped you in some way, shape, or form. I hope, if nothing else, it has entertained you for a few moments in time. And if you haven't already, you will like, share, and subscribe. Bye.